Okay, lastly, it won't surprise you that one of the fundamental drivers of growth is that you get a good return on investment. That the business itself actually has to drive good profitability for the stakeholders in the business. And you have to maintain this over time. Companies that don't give a good return on investment in the end don't get shareholder support, have lack of ability to raise funds, and actually the strange thing is actually end up losing customers. Because in fact, I want to, as a customer, actually deal with a company that's going to be around for a while. I want to deal with a company that's actually making reasonable profits. They don't need to be super profits, but I want to know that when the going gets tough, they're still going to be there. So making sure that you get a good return on investment as part of the growth strategy is pretty fundamental. So what does this mean? This means, financial acumen, running the numbers, no surprises, good scenario planning, good risk mitigation, budgets, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, 2 yearly, 5 yearly if necessary. Budgets at organisational level, sometimes budgets at the individual level. People who have certain outcomes with certain responsibility, with accountability. All of that comes back to getting a good return on investment. Use continuous process improvement and benchmarking to identify areas where you can improve your return on investment. So, simple questions. Do you have the fundamentals in place? You can't control if you can't measure. Am I measuring? And I don't mean measuring financials, I mean measuring operational. Leads received, quotes going out, quotes closing, orders received, projects started, milestones reached, sign-offs reached, cash in the bank. I mean, every process has points that you can find out whether things are going correctly. Am I doing longer-term trend analysis? Am I looking outside my business and watching what's going on and having points of connection and information that's coming into me that's telling me what's happening so I can react? Okay, there's lots of that stuff out there. What is the relationship between different elements of your organisation? If sales are going down, what does that mean for inventory control? What does that mean for manufacturing? What does that mean for procurement? If I'm in the services business, if I'm not making enough phone calls, am I getting enough leads? Am I getting enough prospects? Am I closing enough deals? Do I have enough people to satisfy my service requirements? All of these things are connected, and you have to have systems to be able to measure them, to report them, to put targets on them, and then to respond with actions if you're not getting the right outcome. Some actions. You need processes, systems, reporting systems, action planning systems, scenario planning systems. This is mostly around systems and processes and governance that you'll do this. But you also need the right people. You need people who can do budgets. You need people who can do cash flow planning. You need people who can understand how to do continuous improvement. Whether you get them in part-time or whether you get them as advisors or whether you use them full-time, it's important. If you're going to invest in something, make sure it's got a proper evaluation. Don't guess. Don't say this would be a nice thing to do. Do a proper evaluation of it from an investment point of view.